Well, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on behalf of the Miramar Pembroke Pines Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Weston Florida Chamber of Commerce, and the Pembroke Park West Park Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're here to talk about how to communicate effectively in a professional setting. I don't know about you guys, but I know that there's been a time or two where either I thought about or may have let go of something from the mouth that I probably shouldn't have said, and maybe thought about it a little bit more in that professional setting. So we have Dr. Ibis Brito with us here today to talk to us about how to communicate effectively and not let go of those thoughts necessarily out of your mouth. Dr. Brito holds a doctorate in clinical psychology, and she is licensed as a mental health counselor in the state of Florida. With over 3 decades of experience, she specializes in providing comprehensive mental health services to adolescents, adults, and the elderly. She offers individual, couples, and family therapy, as well as coaching in meditation, breathwork, and personal development workshops. Dr. Brito's therapeutic approach focuses on empowering individuals to discover answers within themselves, embracing the present moment, which is so important, and realizing their full potential. She does have her practice located in Weston, and she provides both in-person and telehealth services so that we can make sure that therapy is accessible and convenient for everybody. Dr. Brito, take it away. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hi, everyone. Today, Angie said, I am going to talk about communicating effectively in a professional settings. But I like for this to take the opportunity for this seminar to be more interactive than anything else. Okay, and you'll have a chance to um to ask questions, but I also want you to write in the chat. I mean, we're going to use all our communication skills. Okay, so let's get started. What I'm going to talk to you about is the importance of interpersonal skills and how crucial it is in a professional environment. We're also going to discuss the communication. Communication is more than just verbal skills or verbal speech. The power of listening and its effect on strong communication. And then we're going to do a group activity. Okay. So, can anyone and if you're shy and you need to type, go ahead. But I like at least one person to raise your hand and define and tell me the definition of interpersonal skill.
Anybody?
Anyone?
Anybody?
Going once. Okay. And you could type it if you want. The only thing is I don't see the chat.
I'll keep an eye on that for you.
Okay. Okay.
But for all intents and purposes, interpersonal skills is really just the ability to communicate one-on-one with somebody, either verbally or non-verbally.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's the behavior and ability that people uses to interact with others. Okay, but it has to be effectively. Okay, like I said, behavior and abilities that people use to interact with others. It could be in a negative way, but for to be healthy, to be in a work environment, it has to be a positive behaviors, positive ability, and it has to be effective. Okay, so realize that these it could be negative or it could be positive, but we're not going to be working with negative. We're going to use all our strength and all our energy to work on it as positive as we can. Okay, so interpersonal skills. In order for us to work and to be and to create, we have to work on our personal skills. Our personal skills is very crucial. It's not only going to help us in the working environment, it's also going to help us at work. I mean at home. And when our work and home are intertwined into healthy interpersonal skills, we'll be a much well-rounded, happier individual. Okay. Interpersonal skills. When we have good interpersonal skills, that means we're communicating. We're communicating in a much better way. Um, by communicating better, that means we'll express whatever it is that we want to express much clearer. Much clearer means that we will reduce misunderstanding. Now, many of us know that half of us talk and the other half gets whatever we say in the wrong way, or don't understand it, but don't even ask. Or sometimes we even talk and we don't even know what we're saying. Okay. So we need to communicate from mouth out better, but we need to also understand ourselves a lot better. Okay. So by us understanding ourselves a lot better, we express our emotions or whatever we have to say clear. We reduce the misunderstanding. We will, based on those things, we will have a much stronger relationships with people around us. And oh, 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 and because of this, okay, we will have a better collaboration. When we have communication, a clear expression, reduced misunderstanding, stronger relationship, and better collaboration, we will have job satisfaction. Now, interpersonal skills, by us working on our interpersonal skills and getting better and better at it, we will have a better empathy. And empathy is the ability or the ability of the practice for us to understand and be in someone else's shoes. Okay. By us being in someone else's shoes, we know how they they feel, even though we might have had an experience similar to theirs, but we push our own reactions and we focus on their reaction, their how they're taking it. So that helps us to be more empathetic. By being more empathetic, automatically we will understand emotions better. Okay. And by understanding emotions better, we will increase trust. Relationship definitely will become stronger. Okay. And then we'll start having respect to one another. And as the results, we'll have better job satisfaction. Now, interpersonal skills. Remember, we worked on the communication and everything that implies. We work on empathy and everything that implies. Then we're going to work on teamwork. By working on teamwork, and having all the other stuff, we're going to collaborate a lot better. And by collaborating a lot better, we're going to have higher productivity. And by having a higher productivity, we're going to work much better as a team. And as we work much better as a team, new ideas, new projects, or new problem solving just generate a lot better. And of course, when we do this, we have job satisfaction. Okay. So interpersonal skills will allow us to be a better human being in our job, because when we communicate, when we have empathy, when we work as a team, we will be more satisfied in our job, but realize that we are one person, even though we like to believe that Yes, yes, I do well at work, even though my home life is going upside down and I could disconnect. No, 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 we don't disconnect. Okay, we could put a um little wall up for that time being and work. Okay. But can you imagine how well and how productive and how how much better we would be if our home life and our work life would work absolutely beautiful, and how happy and how much of a productive person we could actually be if that was to happen. And it all starts with the way we think about ourselves and the way we express interpersonal skills as well. So, any questions? I'm not going to leave this slide until I have at least one question. It has to be one little question.
I don't have a question. I have
Oh,
a comment. I agree so much. Like what I do is part of what I do is management coaching, and
yes,
everything you're saying, you're absolutely right. All of that will help with better collaboration, better job satisfaction. You're going to reduce turnover. So no question, but I think it's
you.
spot on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so not nobody else. Then we're going to go on communication skills matter. So why does communication skill matter? Well, it matters. It matters because in many areas of our lives, um, we have to build relationships. We have to resolve conflicts. We have to learn, or we have to learn, or we have to grow in our career and and professional settings. So it's important that we communicate and that we use all our communication skills effectively. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is verbal communication. Verbal communication, the first thing is the tone. Now, when I say tone, most of us think, okay, high or low tone, okay? But it's much, much, much more than that. Um, it's the style in which we speak, is the emphasis, is the inflection, is the intonation, is the pauses, is the ums. I usually say a lot. Is the likes, quotation likes. It's just the unique sound of the individual voices or individual voice. They say that is the speaking style. For example, did you know that the Mandarin Chinese, they're like the number one intonation um country, because they have one word and they give it like four, no, this particular word that I'm going to tell you right now, they have one word which they have four different meaning. It just depends on how you use that word. The word ma, okay, ma, they give it four different meaning. It just depends. Now, don't ask me to tell you how they use it. Is mo mu? I have no idea how, but it's ma, ma, could be defined as let's see here. It could be defined as a mother. It could be defined as a horse. You could be scolding somebody, or it could be a question. Only those two little well, one little word could be four different meanings. It just depends how how the intonation is. So I think that's fascinating. The clarity, which is the effectiveness of with whatever we say is intended. Okay, so just being clear is what clarity means, and the articulation. And the articulation is just the pronunciations of words. But this is just repetitive things that I'm saying, because when I speak about communication, you guys think about verbal communication, but very rarely do we think about the nonverbal communication. And the nonverbal communication, it implies the body language, the facial expression, and gestures. Now, 93% of our communication is considered nonverbal. So 7% are spoken words. So can you imagine if we just pay a little bit more attention to the nonverbal, how much more we could actually, I don't know, create or find out or even express. Okay. Out of those 93% of the communication that is nonverbal, 55% is body language and facial expression. And 38% is the tone of voice. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the facial expression, well, because I am in psychology, I do look at the body and stuff like that. But me, myself, I have difficulty at times, which I managed to do. I managed to get a grip on when I'm sitting down with patients, not for my facial expression to show as much, but for family and friends. Oh my, if they say something I don't like, I could say, yeah, okay, that's okay. But my facial expression will tell them, is I'm not there, you know? Or when I'm sad, it's very hard. And that also becomes true when you're so in tune with your own feelings. It's very hard to wear a mask. It's very, very hard. But we have to be aware of these nonverbal communication, especially for us business owners. You know, there's lots of people that we encounter that say one things but mean another. And if we just learn more of the nonverbal communication, we'll be able to pick things up. And they don't even have to talk half the time. Okay. Okay. So it's time for you to reflect. Okay. I want you to just take a minute or two on and write down your your posture, your eye contact, your tone of voice, um that needs improvement, that you could communicate better, and with more purpose and authenticity. And that's very important. We need to be authentic. There's lots of times we're not so authentic. We just go because everybody else in the room is doing it, or everybody else is saying it, or we believe this is the way we should be because we're in the office and this is the way I'm supposed to put, I'm supposed to cross my legs. And we forget that what makes us special and unique is being our authentic self. So we need to realize that we're here in this world just as we are, and we're perfect just as we are. And we need to, whatever it is we do it in our way, do it in our authentic self. And by doing that, believe me, things are going to come out, and we're going to perform in such a unique and special way that people are going to receive it, and they're going to love it. So now I'm going to stay quiet, okay? And I need you to reflect on 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 your posture, on your eye contact, and tone of voice. And I'll let you um do this for about a minute. Okay. Everybody okay? Can anybody be brave enough to tell me anything that they became aware that is part of the communication that they need to work on a little bit more or something?
So I will put myself out there, and I think also on behalf of others, maybe in this group, because we were just talking about it in the chat, that nonverbal communication is obviously huge. It has been brought to my attention that my face definitely gives away my feelings, even when my words don't. How do we best deal with our face? Like it's so unconscious. So like, how do I fix my face?
You don't have to fix your face. Your face is beautiful just the way it is. Okay. The thing is, realize that we have to understand ourselves better. Okay. Sometimes our face becomes it's a mirror of the inside. So it's the inside that we're supposed to deal with. Okay. Realize that half the time we want people to say or react the way we expect them to. When we start learning and more about us, and we start making peace with a lot of demons, we start accepting life better as far as people are going to be who they are. They're going to say what they want, what they don't want, but that's okay. That's on them and not on me. Okay. And slowly, when you're more at peace with yourself, you stop you stop expecting. You'll stop putting those faces. Okay. And you'll be more at, it's like, it's okay. Okay. But even when you do your face, okay, realize that's a sign for you to check with yourself. Like, am I, am I saying what I feel? Because half the time we'll be saying, yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about it. But our face is saying, no, it's not. I don't want to do this. Okay. So you have to check with yourself. And this is what I say when we need to be more authentic. By being more authentic to ourselves, we start dealing with life a little bit better.
Dr.
Make sense?
Brito, would
Yes.
you, is, like one of the things that I try not to do is to even, I, I'd say this, there was a period where I would try to be conscious and aware of my facial expression, tone of voice, and so on. But then I found it distracting, right? Um, so when folks would say stuff to me that I may be reacting one way, but I'm saying something else, right? And I realize that the reaction is coming, I think, similar to what you're saying, where I'm making up a story in my head as to how they're either judging what I'm saying or how I'm reacting. And so then I started doing something where I would actually express to them what I'm feeling in the moment. That, for example, I would say, when you said this a while ago, my first impression was X, right? It made me feel a little upset or a little disappointed, or right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I do want to understand where this is coming from or better understand why you're doing this or saying this or so on. And then try to take the conversation from there. Uh, I, I, I don't know. I just found it a little bit more productive for me in terms of
Definitely.
progressing the conversation and getting to common ground where we can move forward. And I'm not distracted by how my facial expression or so on is. Uh,
Right. But you're taking the extra step, which I'll talk more about that, but you're actually clarifying, asking them question. Did you say this? Did you mean this? And therefore you're you're acting more like the authentic self. You're actually clarifying things so you could understand it better. And you're not focused on what facial expression did I put? You understand?
Yes.
But it doesn't matter because you're actually being true to yourself and asking the question to clarify it. Most of us put the face and don't ask and sit with whatever confusion or whatever we imagine in our mind to be. Okay. So you are taking the extra steps. So that's wonderful. That's beautiful. So thank you.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. So, oh, any questions? Any questions about that? Okay. So let's listen to let's look at this little video. It's just a minute and a half or two about our second, I think the second topic, the power of listening. Can everybody hear it?
Do you get a blank response often? Usually from someone checking their phone while you talk to them. It's annoying, disrespectful, and in a business environment, unprofessional, and can even be dangerous. At work, you may bring a lot of technical skills and knowledge to the table, but if you don't become an active listener, your effectiveness and impact will be limited. By listening to a variety of opinions and recommendations, you gather better information to make an informed decision. Seriously, if you don't process valuable information from team members, managers, or clients, you are flying into a dark cloud bank, my friend. By not really listening, you can miss cues about potential safety or efficiency issues. First, respect the speaker. Give them your full attention, no matter who it is. If it's a frontline utility worker, they may have valuable insight into what they've observed in the field. All intel can be useful. Take a moment to absorb what has been said, then repeat it out loud to confirm it. And ask questions. Lots of them. Don't pretend to know. Nobody cares if you're the smartest person in the room. Always ask for clarity. In a team setting on multi-million-dollar projects, it's crucial to be on the same page as everyone else. When someone is talking, avoid interrupting and wait for the right moment to contribute. Maintain eye contact and nod to encourage further dialogue. Keep an open mind and be willing to learn and understand others who have different views. The best way to problem solve is by using the talents and insights of a large number of people. You can't access that if you aren't actively listening to them. As the old saying goes, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so listen twice as much as you speak.
Okay. So we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So remember, you have to listen. And it's very difficult. And I'll keep on with the presentation right now. But it's some of us, when the other one is speaking, we are already in our head thinking, what response is it that I'm going to come, how am I going to come back to this person? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? But we don't realize that we're in that process. We're not really listening. We're not really listening at all. We have to understand that even though they're saying something that does not make sense or we don't agree with, they still have the right to speak and for us to listen. And therefore, afterwards, we'll speak and we'll say our views, but together, both listening, then is when we make a intelligent decision. Okay. But most of us don't listen. So listening, it's a critical part of communication. But most importantly, active listening. Active listening, okay, is when we get involved in focusing on the speaker. By listening to what they're saying, we're actually giving them the opportunity to speak and for us just to get another viewpoint on whatever it is that they're saying or whatever it is the subject is. Then we ask for clarification. Okay. And this, I believe, is what Edmund was saying that he does, which is excellent. And then we summarize the points to ensure understanding. Now, how many of us are in a conversation and we summarize whatever it is we heard? Very little of us, because they lost us half the way, because it's getting us so mad, and how dare he and how dare she, and then look at, and that's it. We lost the whole conversation, the whole purpose of us communicating with our ears, okay? And we missed the points so we could summarize. Who cares if Angie believes it's black and I believe it's white? When it's Angie's turn to speak, I'll listen to whatever or however she sees it and why she feels it's black. But then when it's my turn, I'll say, I see it differently. I see it as white. But you know what? If Angie listens to me and I listen to her, at the end, we could come up with gray in a much effective manner. So, any questions about what I just finished saying? I'm sorry, I can't understand you. What was that?
Sorry, can you hear me better now?
I could hear you better.
Uh,
No, you're breaking up again.
Breaking up again. Oh no. It might be my headset.
Okay, but I could hear you when you said headset, I could hear you perfectly. So I
Okay,
don't, go ahead.
I'll try it now. Right. I'll there are times where I may get stuck on something the person said,
Uh-huh.
right? Yeah. And I'll encounter issues just getting off of, so they're sharing a variety of things, right?
Okay.
Right in it. I get stuck on one thing and it derails my active listening, it, my ability to hear the remainder of what that they're sharing with me. That could even clarify some of what that one thing that I'm stuck on. Um, you know, how do you generally go about kind of, either quieting the mind or even, getting off of that one particular thing and being able to hear the entire message?
Understand that one thing, it has nothing to do with them, but it all has to do with you. Okay. So if you're able to hear it and put it in the back burner, meaning you're not going to forget it, you're going to put it there, but you need to continue the conversation. Okay. That's one way. Okay. Um, and then afterwards you go and you um take wherever you got stuck and ask yourself why. Why did you get stuck on that particular area? And analyze it and figure it out, because remember, the anger, the frustration, the when we get stuck, when we blow out a conversation, a lot of those times doesn't have to do with anything with the other person. It has to do with us. Even if the other person is screaming and stuff, it still has to do with us. How are we taking whatever the person is saying? How are we receiving it? Okay. And so everything starts with us. So we have to analyze us. Another way that you could, not another way, I'm pro meditation. I'm pro for individuality, to get the grip on who we are. So a lot of times when we lower our anxiety and we meditate, and I know that when I say meditate, unless you meditate, you think, oh my God, meditation, an hour meditation, I can't sit there still for an hour. No. Meditation means just taking time off whatever it is you're doing at this minute and going inward, okay? And just taking a grip. And this could be just breath work. You could just inhale for 4 counts and exhale for 4 counts. Once you get that inhaling and exhaling, you could even inhale for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, and release it for 4 counts, and hold it again for 4 counts. That little sequence of 4 and 4, doing it once or twice will give you the the I guess you'll be able to center yourself and react or act a lot better. Did I answer your question?
Yes, and I practice meditation all the time,
Awesome.
and box breathing. I tell you this, so I've had challenges in the moment, right? Like you're
Yes.
saying, right, where I'll try the box breathing, for example, but then I'm focusing on that and not on them, and yeah, and end up missing stuff. So then I just try to breathe, and then they're like, oh, then they react to my breathing reaction. Yeah, I've
It's
had a
when
few complicated ones, but I think that I then try to really stay authentic with what I'm feeling at the moment.
you can get out of your head.
Yeah,
When you're talking
yeah,
to somebody, get out of your head, because realize when you're in your head, it doesn't matter what they're saying.
yeah,
Okay. This is like presentation. Presentation, okay? Before I was like, oh my God, I can't talk because I was more in oh my God, me. How would I talk? What would I say? What would they think? How would I be able to explain all that? But once I reversed that and said, no, I know what I'm doing is about you guys, is about helping you guys, even if it's one thing you go with this presentation, if it's breathing, then I'm helping somebody. You understand? So you have to get out of your head and just listen to them. And when something they say you don't like, okay, like I said, put it in the back burner. Okay, you will. I'm not saying forget it, because you can't forget it. You're going to put it in the back burner, you're going to deal with it later, but right now you're supposed to listen to the person that's speaking.
yeah.
Okay. And I see, I think I'll go ahead a little bit more. Something else that might help is what I'm going to ask some of you guys to do, or not some, I'm going to suggest it, is for to have groups, to meet once a week, or whenever, but to have these awareness group where you're able to talk about talking, and talk about the verbal and nonverbal. And the more you practice doing this, the better it will be for you guys. It's like anything else. The more practice, the better one gets. Okay? Okay. So now I'm going to be talking about burnout. Communicating effectively in a professional setting, how to manage burnout as a business owner. Okay. The practical tips for business owners are: you set boundaries. You set boundaries set boundaries. You establish clear work line boundaries for yourself and your team. Okay. This reduces the stress and ensures sustainable working habits. And how many of us don't work, and or see patient clients whatever time, however time we're having dinner and they calling there, you pick up the phone because it's business. And no, guys, you have to establish boundaries. You have to establish, you know, boundaries. And this is not only for them to respect, but it's for you to respect. You have to respect that you are a person that not only can do business, but need life and need breaks. Okay. So establish those boundaries. Second, delegate task. Remember, my first slide about communication, about empathy, about teamwork, you hired those people. Okay. So if you hire those people, you hire them because you trust them, because you believe in them. So delegating, okay, you have to stop micromanaging. Trust your team by delegating effectively. Foster a support environment. Build a culture of open communication where employees feel comfortable discussing challenges, including burnouts. And promote mental health. This is so, so important. Offer wellness programs. Half of us think, no, mental health, it's not important, or me seeing a therapist, forget it. I'm not crazy, okay? But we often forget it starts all in our mind. If our mind is healthy, we do everything else so much better. Okay, so recap. Active listening. Hold one-on-one meetings with team members to listen to their concern. Ask open-ended questions to uncover the causes of burnout. Empathy and support. Acknowledge their feelings and offer solutions, such as adjusting workloads, introducing more flexible hours, and or providing mental health services. And clear expectations. Communicate realistic goals and timelines and encourage open communication about challenges. So the takeaway in interpersonal skills is assessing and improving your communication skills to reach your full potential. Active listening to cultivate active listening to enhance understanding and collaboration. Burnout prevention. Use effective communication to recognize and address burnout early. And practice and reflection. And this is the group that Edward that I was talking to you about. Engage in group activity to practice communication techniques and receive feedback. And this is an activity we're going to do, but we're not going to do it how it's saying there. We're going to do it some other ways. So any questions before we do the group activity? Okay, the group activity. I want someone, okay, to talk about an issue. Let's see, an issue to talk, one person to talk for about a minute about current professional challenges or while others listen. Okay, we're going to do this as a group. As we listen, okay, we need to listen to the person's not only verbal communication, but I also need you guys to listen to the nonverbal communication. And then we're going to discuss. Okay? So who's going to be the guinea pig?
I nominate Kimberly.
Kimberly, you want to be the guinea pig?
I would love to, but I really don't have any. I have no complaints right now. Things are good.
Can anybody, if you don't have anything, can you make up it's something? It's just talking. Remember, we're not listening to we are listening, but it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it, and it's everything else.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do it. I'm remembering a friend of mine who was an attorney who was promised a promotion and they kept looking her over. So I'm gonna be her for a minute.
Okay, hold on a second. Angie, can I get off here so we could see her up close? Would that be
If
possible?
you
And then
stop sharing, yeah, if you stop sharing, it'll go back to normal. There you go.
beautiful. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay. So, yeah, so I am an attorney. I have 10 years experience and I've been working at the same employer for the last 5 years. And they keep telling me that, that I'm going to get promoted to partner. And every time I go to them and say, you know, can we talk about this path forward to partnership? They keep moving the goalpost, right? They keep telling me it's just not the right time, or or they even will say, they'll pull up some small thing that they didn't like that I did, and tell me that that was the reason that they're not promoting me, and it really just feels like they're jerking me around. It doesn't feel like they're serious at all about promoting me. And frankly, I think I'm going to start looking elsewhere to see if I can find a partnership path with another firm, because it's really, really frustrating to me.
okay, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank my
So,
friend Angie. That happened to her.
okay. So can anybody tell me anything they observe about either her verbal or nonverbal communication?
I mean, she seems clear in what in the intention behind her words and the meanings behind her words. And seems pretty confident that she sort of has a handle on what the situation is. So at least that confidence is showing through.
And that's what you're hearing.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And that's usually what we do. We look at the person and we hear and we go. That's it. But I could, anybody else?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lee Williams. I'm sorry I'm not showing my face. But I could hear frustration in her voice.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Anybody else? Do we have Alejandro here? Oh my God, Alejandro is here. Alejandro, I'm pretty sure you have something to say.
I am
Huh?
here. I am live and in charge. No, I'm enjoying it. I think you get the frustration, you get the anxieties, the the frustrations that come with not achieving your desired goal, your stated goal. And then so you have that cognitive conflict, which is I am here, but I want to get here, right? I am um, not a partner, but I want to get to be a partner. And then there's that conflict cognitively. How do I get there? Why am I not getting there? So all those emotions that stem from that.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Alejandro. Okay. So I don't know why you guys moved. Okay. But you know what? All that is correct. But the nonverbal, the nonverbal, I saw her touching her face a lot. I saw her looking down when certain instances when she was talking. I saw her actually I even saw her being uncertain, being a little bit frightened to take it to the next step, you know. Um and I'm pretty sure if she was in front of us, we could see more of her hands, more of her body, okay, which our body would say yes, confirming to what it is that we're saying or no. Okay. So remember, she said she's going and she sounds strong, but her hands and her the gaze of her eyes and stuff told us she's scared. It's a scary time for her. It's she's going to do it, but she's still hesitant in how she's going to do it. You know, so these are the nonverbal nonverbal um cues that's what I'm saying when we especially in professional settings. It's not only what we hear. That is only 7%. The other is at 7%. The other 93%, if is considered the nonverbal. So that's what I'm saying. Learn about the nonverbal. Look at today when we're gonna go to that chamber event. Okay, make sure to look at people, not what they're saying, but what they are not saying, what their body's saying, what what their eyes, what their voice, because your voice was actually, in tune with, and you had a consistent. But if you would have gone high pitch, low pitch, that anxiety would have been there even stronger you know and if it was your own story, I'm pretty sure we could have changed all this as well. But excellent, thank you guys, thank you. So let me put one. We're almost done. Okay. Oh, wait, because
Dr. Brito, you use a nonverbal today when we were talking and you were starting to talk with your eyes.
Yes, 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 definitely. I was trying to tell you, be quiet, and but it was only my eyes. I never said it.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So effective communication is not just about speaking, but about understanding and managing stress together. Let's build a healthier workplace and prevent burnouts. Burnout. So this is my number, my telephone number, my email. I also would like to invite you guys. I know that you might not need therapy, and that's perfectly fine, but you could follow me at Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. For I do give inspirational quotes and inspirational stories. Just positive things that helps you to think or helps you to see the day a little bit brighter. Okay. I also do different events, meditation. I am starting a 6 months walk and speed walking and thinking of the present. And I'm doing that with us walking and having our earphones, and I'm talking to you and stuff like that. So it's I'll let you know in 6 months how everybody is doing. So but you're more than welcome to come. We meet at Broward Health at 7:30 a.m. every Saturday. That's one thing. I also have a gratitude meditation that I do the week before Thanksgiving. So that will be the 21st. And many other things coming next year. I hope you join me so you could find out, and you could, I could meet you in person. And I thank you everybody for taking the time off your busy schedule to come and listen to my um communication
Her little webinar. This is awesome. Thank you so
session.
much, Dr. Brito.
I
If
I
you send me If you send me those details of the events that you have coming up, we'll include it in the follow-up email along with the URL for the recording of this Zoom for anyone that missed it and wants to revisit it, or if you just want to come back and look at some of the tips and exercises that she provided. Let's remember our active listening. Let's remember 7%. I think that was the most shocking thing.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
definitely going to remember that, because I would have thought communication was probably a lot more than 7% verbal. But I know that my biggest struggle is controlling my face. So I will be working on that, because apparently it's 93% of my communication. So thank
And
you
that's
so much
very
for that,
low for a
Dr. Brito.
Cuban. And you
Well,
that's low for a Cuban who talks loud, right?
Listen, I can only do so much with what
but
I
it's
was handed.
it's
So
7% of the spoken. The facial falls in the 55%.
oh my goodness.
55% is facial, it's body movement and stuff
That's
like
too
that.
much. That's too much. My face is doing too much for me. So I'm gonna have to work on that. That'll be my homework.
Can we
But
cut that down? Can we change those numbers?
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
I appreciate you all.